Hi, this is Yannick Warnier. This is volume 4 of a 10 video series of tutorials about Chamilo LMS. So in the previous session, what we saw was how to create a course and how to what were these tools that we have here in the course homepage, how to change the course settings, and how to take a course backup. Now in this course we're going to see a little bit about how to create content. So what we're going to do is create a document, create an exercise, create a forum, and then create a learning path that will combine all of these. So first let's create a document. So we're going to go to the document tool and we're going to click on this first icon. Every icon that looks like a small yellow star is actually an option to create new content. Okay, so here we can create a new document, text document basically. Here we can create a new diagram. Here we can record our voice. We can create a folder. Everything is done in Chamilo to simplify the life of the teacher. So basically all these tools can be used inside the browser. You don't need any additional tool to do that. So let's click on this document creation item. So when I get to this page, what I will see is a big white zone here, a small title area. So I can just click on, I can just for example type introduction here, and this will be my introduction document. And you can see that you have a content templates column here that you can use to inspire yourself and pick any type of content that you think will fit your presentation type. So if you click on one of them, you'll get this content default presentation inside the text edition area. So you can just change here, for example, say chapter 1, yes, maybe chapter 1. This is not an introduction, then it's most likely something like table of contents. Chapter 1, what we're in the Chamilo course, so chapter 1 will be creating an account. Chapter 2 will be creating a course. Chapter 3 will be configuring the course, and chapter 4 will be something like creating content. Okay, so this is my document. I can change this picture, of course. I'm going to leave this one because it's nice, but it's obviously unrelated to my course, so I should change it to something more related, for example a screenshot or someone studying or something like that. I can do that with this icon here that says insert edit image. If I go there, I can see the current document. I can browse the server and pick another image. Okay, I just have to choose one of these images that will fit my presentation, or I can upload one. Again, here I have an option that says upload, and I can upload one, select my icon and then say insert, and this will automatically replace the icon that is the image that is there at the moment. Okay, once I'm ready, I can pick the destination folder. Usually for simple documents will leave them in the home folder, and then I can click on create the rich media page. Once I did that, I can see that these were already there, these folders. There are default folders that appear there because when I created the course, I selected to that the system should create a few default content for me. So basically these appear to me, but they don't appear to the students because the eye here is closed. Okay, the students will only see things that have an opened eye. Okay, the teachers can see either opened or closed. but they will usually use them to build more content and not give direct access to their students to this. So here, if I click on the table of contents title, I can see my document finished or rendered. I can go back to the documents list, and I can also do a series of things with it. I can export it as PDF. I can add a template based on this one, so I can, like the other templates that you saw in the left column, I could reuse this one as a template. So for example, I could create a document with the logo of my institution on top, and then decide that this is the template for all other documents to come. Okay, so this is the creation of documents. What I'm gonna do now is go to exercises or tests, and I'm gonna create a small test. So there's one already there that I can reuse. It's been created when I selected the fill with demo content option when I created the course originally. But I'm gonna create a new one. Okay, so just to show you how easy it is, I can click on the first icon that says create a test. I can select a title for the test. So this is the test about Chamilo chapter 1, for example. Okay, I could give me more stuff here. I have a lot of options that allow me to configure what the type of behavior will be of that test, but I want to do something quick, so I'm gonna click on proceed to questions, and then I can see all these options, and these are, each of them is a question type. So I can pick one of these when I pass over the icon. So this doesn't work obviously on touch screens because I can't move over without touching it, but basically you can see the type of questions. It's also designed so you get a slight idea of what type of question it is just by looking at it. So for the multiple choice, which is the easiest one, I'm going to just click the icon, and this is gonna send me to a form that will allow me to write a question. So for example, for Chamilo, I can say what type of licensing does the Chamilo LMS system use? Okay, and so I can say, for example, proprietary software. I can say free software. I can say open source. This is slightly different. And I can say I don't know. Okay, so I could say, for example, that if he gets it wrong, the students will get -1. If he gets it correctly, he'll get 2 points. And open source is kind of correct, but it's not the exact license, so he'll get 1. And then if he doesn't know, he'll get 0 because he doesn't know. So if I want to make sure that the system understands which one is correct, I'm gonna have to select it in this column that says true. I'm gonna have to select the right answer. You can see a comment section here that will allow you to give instant feedback to the student once he finishes the test. For example, here I can just say, well done. And the idea of these comments is, depending on the configuration of the test, it might not appear. But if it appears, if I decided that it should appear, then it really needs to help the student understand his mistake and fix it, right? So here, open source, for example, open source is not exactly the same as free software, for example. Although here we're practically giving him the answer already. Please check your notes on licensing, something like that. So the student knows where to look. He knows what to do. Check your notes, and so he can improve his understanding and improve his grades next time he takes the test. And here, this is completely wrong. Okay, please review the licensing page in your notes. Okay, and then I don't know, well, he doesn't know. Okay, and so I'm gonna add this question to the test, and it's gonna appear here. Okay, So what I'm gonna do, I don't want to lose much of your time, so I could create another question. What I'm gonna do is just copy this question with the CD here, okay, and I copy the question, and then the question will be named something very similar. If you look at the title here, you can see that it finishes with copy, okay. This is the original here. So now I'm gonna look at what my student will see if he was to take the test, okay. So I'm gonna use that magnifier icon here that says preview. I can see test of the title of the test. I can see a button that says start test. Usually here in between comes the explanations that I might have entered to describe my test and what the questions types are and that kind of stuff. I can click on start test, and once I click start test, basically my attempt is registered, and if I have a limit of time, I will have a regressive time count showing, and I will know when my time is up as a student. So I can click on free software here, for example, and here I'm going to click on proprietary software. And so when I get the answer, what I get is basically for the answer that I picked, I get a comment, and if it's correct, then it says well done because I configured that, and if it's incorrect, then I'll have something that says this question was wrong, the score is 0, and basically if you remember we set up -1 for proprietary software, but usually in Chamilo we're rounding up to 0 from one question to another. So if you got less than 0, you get 0. There's an option to change that, but the default behavior is like that. So if I got it wrong, it tells me no, this is completely wrong, please review the licensing page in your notes. So I know what to review, right? And I can also say that this is a link to the notes that correspond to the licensing information. Okay, so this is the exercise tool. So we create an exercise now, and students could go there and take the exercise. They can just enter the test part and click on this link, and they will enter it. If I don't want the other one to be seen by my students, I can just click the eye here, and it will disappear from my students' view. And now I'm going to get back to the home page, and I'm going to go to the forum tool, which will allow me to create a small forum. In this case, I already have a forum created automatically. I'm going to create another one. So usually in an online course, the first thing that you do is ask people to introduce themselves. This allows other users to know who is participating to this course, and so make a better interaction with other students as well. Okay, so I can say that the type of forum, the description of the forum, I can set it here. I can say that I have a few options for each of these forums, and then I can create the forum, and I will see it here appear. Okay, and if I click it, I can create a new topic of discussion, and say, for example, my name is Yannick, and hi, I'm a software engineer from Belgium. It's great to participate to this course, etc., etc. Okay, so I can create a thread, and then inside the thread itself, I'm going to see this message. If I have an image, it's gonna a picture, it's gonna appear here. I have my message, and other people can answer my message just clicking the reply button. Okay, so this is how the forum works. So now we created the forum, we created an exercise, we created a document. What we're going to do is create a learning path, which is a combination of several of these resources. And here we click on create a learning path. We give it a title, so Chamilo introduction, and we're gonna add the content to this learning path. So what we're gonna see here is that we have access to documents, exercises, links, tasks, forums, and categories. If we want to create content, we're gonna just be able to pick existing content or create our own with the link here that says new test or enrichment page activity. So in this case, I'm gonna say that I want this element to be part of my learning path. So I'm gonna just drag and drop it here, and then I'm gonna say that maybe I wanted a category first. So chapter 1, there we go. I create this category, and then I can move the table of content inside the category. This is a little tricky. It's always kind of something to get there. There's a small yellow area, and you can move it to see it better, but basically sometimes it's a little bit hard to see. And then let's say that there is a forum that says introduce yourself. So this is kind of a link to the forum from the learning path, and then we can say that at the end of this chapter 1 we'll get a test, and this test will decide on whether we can enter chapter 2 or not. Okay, so how do we do that? We can create another section, chapter 2, and will automatically appear down here. We can actually use the same document several times. This is a bit weird, but maybe sometime you will need it. And then once we did that, we can just say, you know, for example, I want to configure prerequisites. So I have to click on the last one and say, okay, to get to this step, I want the user to have achieved this test here with more than 50%, for example. Okay, so here I go there, I click on the green box, green circle, and I get this page, and this page shows me the last elements before this step, and I can say, okay, I want to depend on this item, and the student has to have 2 out of 4 to be able to pass to the to this step here. Okay, so this will drive the student following a specific path, basically. So if I want to preview that as a student, I'm gonna click on the magnifier icon again, and this is gonna show me the course itself. So here I have the chapters, the different elements of the chapter. If I want to go to the other table of contents here, it's gonna tell me that the learning object cannot be displayed because the course prerequisites are not completed. Okay, so I have to go there, back in there, I have to go to the test, take the test, get it right, otherwise I can't move to the next step, and then now I can move to the last one. Okay, so and all along you can see the progress that increases. This blue bar only appears to me as a teacher, it doesn't appear to the students, and I can come back to the course home basically, and that's it for this volume. You can connect to the next volume to check stuff about the admin page and how to manage your campus.